Welcome back, everybody. I am DJ Riley, one of the hosts on Boys on the Bench. In this episode, we are going to be doing 3 prize pick bets, all rebounds plus assists, and I really like them. Now, it is a little bit of a smaller slate today. There are only 3 NBA games, and one of them are kind of a stay away game for me. And that stay away game is the 76ers versus the Nuggets. Right now, there's a lot of stars for the Denver Nuggets who are game time decisions. So it could impact lines greatly. It could lead to blowouts, meaning that you may not hit overs, but also lines. It really doesn't look favorable. So it's a stay away game for me. So that's why I only have 3 picks today, betting on really 2 NBA games. So let's go ahead and jump into this with our first pick today. My first bet today, and probably my favorite bet today, is Devin Booker going under 12.0 rebounds plus assists. So he does have a little bit of a history playing this Sacramento team. They have faced each other twice on 12-22 and 12-8, but in those games, the Suns have been missing quality players. On the 22nd, they were without their center, Yusuf Nurkic, and also Bradley Beal. But then on the 8th, they were without Kevin Durant, Grayson Allen, and a Bradley Beal again. So in those two matchups where we saw Devin Booker looking at his rebounds and assists, in those games, he had 4 rebounds and 7 assists on the 22nd, and then 7 rebounds and 7 assists on the 8th, meaning that he would have hit this line in 1 out of those 2 games. But in the game that he didn't hit it, again, there was no Kevin Durant, Grayson Allen, or Bradley Beal. So coming into this matchup, it's a matchup that I really like versus him because Sacramento currently allows the least amount of rebounds to the shooting guard position, and they're also top 10 in assists allowed to that position as well. Also, looking at his recent history and how he's fared in rebounds and assists in these last couple of games, he's only hit over 12 in 3 out of his last 10 matchups. And yes, this last game was one of the games that he did hit it with Portland, hitting 13, so getting just over it. He almost pushed it, but it was kind of that late push that gave him that over there. So really like the under for Devin Booker at 12.0 rebounds plus assists. But let's go ahead and jump into the next pick. And that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going under 11.5 rebounds plus assists. So as I mentioned earlier, these are all going to be rebounds plus assists in today's episode. And I really like Shai going under here. He's only had one other matchup versus this Clippers team, and it was on December 21st. And in that game, he only hit 12. But in that game, there was also no star, and that was no Kawhi Leonard in that matchup going opposite of him. So that really, when Kawhi Leonard is not in there, it leaves a lot more opportunities for players to get rebounds. So looking at how the Clippers defend against really the guard position, whether, some people deem Shai as either a point guard or a shooting guard. He's listed as a shooting guard, but honestly, he commands the offense and really runs it as a point guard a lot of the times. So let's look at both of them. Both rebounds and assists, the Clippers versus the point guard position, the 3rd least rebounds, and then also the 5th least assists. So they're top 5 at defending the point guard position. So then looking at the shooting guard now, they're also top 4 at rebounds and the 4th least rebounds, but then also the 9th least assists to the shooting guard position. So they are top 10 versus guards in rebounds versus assists. So I think that no Kawhi Leonard, if there was Kawhi Leonard in that last game, he definitely wouldn't have hit that line at all. But also looking at his recent performance in his last 5 games, he would have only hit this line in 1 of his last 5, and then out of his last 10, he'd have hit it 4 out of his last 10. The last thing to consider here is their pace of play. And in that one matchup where we saw them face off earlier in the season, they did have a 98 pace of play. So very slow to what they're considered to, leaning more towards what the Clippers run as opposed to what the Thunder run. So I do expect something similar today. And if it's not, we're looking maybe a little bit over, but I still think somewhere around that 100 mark, allowing less opportunities for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to hit this over today. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on to our last pick of the day, and that is going to be Kawhi Leonard going over 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Really love him in this matchup. Again, they do have a history, but Kawhi Leonard did not play OKC in that last matchup. So looking at what we need to consider today is versus the power forward position, the Clippers currently rank bottom in the league in rebounds allowed to the power forward position, coming in at 28th, which is the 3rd most of the position. Now, assist, they are nearly top 10, allowing the 11th least assists to the position. But what I really like about this matchup is starting center Zubik is going to be out for this game. And we saw that was the case last game as well, where we saw Kawhi Leonard hit this line with 13 versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are very good at defending power forwards and centers versus rebounds plus assists. And Kawhi Leonard was able to hit this line in that matchup, it seemed very easily. So 10.5 seems fairly low for me. So I definitely want to take the over here on Kawhi Leonard. So anyways, everybody, these are my top 3 picks for today. But make sure you are checking out our X at Boys on the Bench, and also my personal one, DJ underscore boys OTB. You can check out more picks there as the day goes on if we start to figure out who is actually out in that first matchup today between the Nuggets and the 76ers. But at the time that I made this video, it looks like it's a stay away game for me. Anyways, best of luck to you guys. Let me know which picks you like in the comments. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe and like button and the bell because I am dropping these videos daily. Anyways, like I said, best of luck, and I'll see you next time.